Hello friends, welcome to Gardening with Creekside. I am Jenny, and today and tomorrow we are going to take you along for a little bit of an adventure, kind of a day in the life of, but it'll be a weekend in the life of. It is our last weekend open here at the nursery, retail wise. So we are excited to end this 2021 season. It has been amazing and fantastic. And yeah, so we're open today and tomorrow, Friday and Saturday. So I just thought it would be fun to take you along to kind of see what it looks like to be here at the nursery in the middle of December. We've got a lot of projects going on. We've got some great deals going on at the nursery as far as for customers. So hopefully that will increase a little bit of foot traffic this weekend. It is a cool, damp Friday morning. We actually got some rain. We desperately need rain here in North Carolina. I think we're definitely in a drought. I was watching the news the other night and it said we're like 7 inches below normal. So that is not good. So we need rain. So we are very grateful that today is cloudy and rainy, and I think tomorrow too. But what we are standing over here near the nursery, and I wanted to show you something. I was talking to a customer, all of a sudden I was like, what in the world? Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here we are in, I just flipped the camera around where I am, and can you see that poor bird feeder? Look at it. Bless its heart, it's a little crooked. The birds clearly do not care. They are just loving it. We are here at Creekside. We are a wildlife and bird habitat. So I put out feeders, it's really a lot, of course, in the winter, fall, winter, early spring, when their natural food sources are a little low. But I put this feeder out, and so I'm not sure really what happened to it, so I'm going to fix it right quick. But we have some tufted titmouses, some Carolina chickadees, all sorts of fun things coming to it. But this is just one of my favorite spots. Of course, this is the pond. So that area that you see right here, get my finger right here, this is the pond. We'll go look at it in just a minute. And then just over here to the side are our annual trial beds that we have already put to sleep for the winter. So let me fix this bird feeder because it's a little crooked, and with the rain coming in, it's exposed at the top, and we need to fix that. I know. Let me fix it for you. I don't know what happened here. There we go. I know. Stop fussing at me. You'll be all right. Yeah, come on. All right, that looks much better now. And the little chickadees were fussing at me, but now they are back eating. Very, very happy, sweet little birds. For me, the Carolina chickadee, the sound of them chirping is just, I love that sound. It just reminds me of wintertime, because that's when I predominantly hear them. They're definitely, we have a huge population of them here, along with a bluebird. That was a bluebird that just left, I believe. Yep. So the bluebirds, the tufted titmouses, the Carolina chickadees, we've got them all. Of course, the cardinals, we have cardinals too, but this is, I would say those three are some of our biggest population of birds, and they are just, they're everywhere, which I love and adore. I could sit and watch birds for hours. To me, they're just so relaxing. So sweet. As always, there is a lot of fun activity going on here at the nursery today. Behind me, you can see that our sweet friend and neighbor beekeeper Matt has started the process of building the, I don't know what you want to call it, the utility closet, shed, fertigation room, all sorts of things. So he is building that for us. Matt is a fantastic builder. He actually built his house by himself. So he and Jerry and Jackson went to Home Depot this week, got all the supplies that he needs, and he has begun building that room for us. So we are so appreciative to have a great friend like Matt doing that for us. One less thing that we have to worry about. So we will go and take a look at that in just a little bit. But I am standing here right on the bridge before the pines, and I wanted to kind of give you a little bit of an idea of things that are happening, what things look like here in North Carolina in the middle of December. And I see some camellias that are covered in buds and getting ready to bloom, and I want to show them to you because they're stunning. If you remember the other day when I was planting the early wonder camellias in front of the garden shed at the house, I was talking about that I really wish I could have been planting the white by the gate camellias. Yeah, so this is the white by the gate, and I'm going to show you why I wanted to plant. Look at this. Look at those blooms, y'all. Are they not the most perfect white flower blooms you have ever seen in your life? Like, look at that. Oh, somewhere, somehow, I am going to find a way to put at least one of these beauties in a garden space, but I'm really thinking it's probably going to have to be here at the nursery because they do need those shady conditions. So white by the gate is a Japonica. Japonicas, you know that they are Japonicas because they have these bigger, fatter leaves, and they will start blooming, Christmas time and then throughout the season. So, obviously these are trellised, so if you've got a beautiful narrow space, then this is what would be perfect for them. So I think you understand why I really wish that I could have planted these white by the gates there at the garden shed, because they would have been perfect, right? It's the perfect size, it's the perfect color, it is the perfect shape, everything. The only thing that was not perfect was the growing conditions, because that spot gets hot, full afternoon sun. These need shade, part shade, because these are underneath the pines and they do great. And they clearly are loving life and are starting to, put on those gorgeous flowers, those beautiful buds. So as much as I wanted to put them there, I just know that they'll fry. They just will not do well. Maybe possibly if my tea olives were mature size and they would block the afternoon sun from them, then maybe it would work. But those tea olives, it's going to take a couple of years for them to get that height to give them the shade. So if you have any ideas of where I can plant one of these, let me know, because I really want one of these. They're just stunning, gorgeous. So if you're in the area and you want one, we have them. We affectionately call this area of the nursery the Pines because I think it's kind of obvious, because this is an area that is completely filled with pine trees, and we have a lot of our shade perennials, shrubs out here, along with some sun-loving things because of the way the sun sets and so forth. But one thing that we love to do is to keep this area neat and tidy, as like with the rest of the nursery. But here in November, December, this is when the pine trees are dropping all their beautiful pine needles. So you can see right here behind me, this is the one of the paths in the area. And we like to keep it nice and neat. So what we do is we take our rake and we clean it up a little bit. So that's one of those daily chores that we do every time that we are open. So I am going to get that done. I find it very therapeutic. Something about taking an area that's a little cluttered, a little messy, and then making it nice and smooth and pretty and attractive. So yeah, I'm going to get to raking some pine needles. Good morning, friends. So yesterday I kind of left you a little high and dry because I got finished raking on the pine needles, which look amazing, by the way. And we just got covered up with customers, which of course is an excellent thing, but the day just went by so super fast, and then it started pouring down rain. And you know how it is. One thing led to another, and I didn't get back to get with you. So here we are on Saturday morning. We're going to try this again so I can fill you in on all the details that are happening. So behind me, you can probably see that the building has come along quite nicely. Man, Matt does not let anything time slip away from him. He is a man on a mission and has done an excellent job. So let's go check out the building. Obviously it's not done, but it's really close. So let's go see how that looks. So we are going to have only the only door that's going to be to the building will be the one from inside of the greenhouse. These are just some panels that have that decorative, I don't know, look to it because it has the ridges in it. This is what we have used on both our garden shed and the little outhouse here at the nursery. Of course, it has a nice slope and pitch to the roof. We really were limited on how tall we could make the building because of the exhaust vent from the heater that you can see up there at the tippy top. Not a problem at all. It just kind of affects, though, how tall this back wall can be on the shed, which turned out it was fine. We knew that it was going to be a little snug. So let's just slide in here. All right. So for a shorty like me, it's not a problem because I'm short and so I can fit in here. Jerry, who's about at least a foot taller than I am, it's gonna be a little tight for him right here, but that's all right. He's not worried about that. So here we have, there's Jackson. Say good morning. Good morning. Panning on around here, you can see that we have, this is where the electrical is. And so we will have that whole electrical panel will be on this wall right here. Spinning around, there is the greenhouse. There's the door, obviously, and then kind of all the other side. And it smells so good in here because it smells like fresh wood. So let's see if I can come this way and give you an idea. So when you come in to the through the door to the greenhouse, from the greenhouse to the room, this is what it'll look like. And remember, we have these two pipes right here. These are the pipes for the water pipes. So on this wall will be the entire fertigation system. So we've got plenty of room in here to work with that and plenty of space for storage and so forth and so on. But if you look, when you come out this way, like we're in the greenhouse, you can see pretty much straight into that room, which is not that big of a deal. Because of course it is clear, clear plastic, clear sheeting. So what we were talking about is that we can simply just put plants and displays right here. And so not that it's going to completely block it out, but that it will kind of break up that little area right there. So I'm thinking on this section right here, this would be a perfect spot to have like a stand of biotone or Proven Winners fertilizer, that kind of thing. And then on this side, it's a little bit of a bigger one. So maybe we have like a rack of plants, so forth and so on. Again, it's not that big of a deal, but it's just something you just have to kind of think about. And we don't want to completely, like we wouldn't want to do some sort of covering so that this is now a solid, because we want the light to be able to come through and come into that building. Of course, we will have lights in there, but natural light is always so much better than just, you know, artificial lighting. So that is the deal with this. What he has left to do, there's Jackson again. He's such a little ham. Before we do that, I know, squirrel, but let me show you this. We had talked about this when the concrete was getting poured. Notice it has a little lip from the greenhouse into the building. So when we have water, it does not flow into the room. So if you're wondering why is the floor wet in the room, well, yesterday it was raining when Matt was building it. So that's the only reason why it is wet, is because of the rain. Now let's go back outside just for a second. Okay, I think this will give you a different perspective of the building. Of course, Matt was on a roll, and then he realized he was one sheet of plywood short, so Jerry had to go and get it for him. So I'm sure he'll be back this morning and finish that up. But what we are going to do for a roof on this, they decided to go ahead and do some shingles on it, as opposed to the green tin roof that is on the outhouse. See the little outhouse right there? It's not really an outhouse, but it looks like an outhouse. So instead of doing that green tin roof that's there and the barn, they're going to go with brown shingles. They were just thinking with the heat, and anyway, they just said that's probably the best thing for this situation. So that's fine. That's what we're going to do. So this just gives you an idea of the whole view from back here. Of course, we have the gas tanks to provide the heat. Yeah, this just gives you a whole different perspective of this space and this area. So much fun. Clearly, it is a very foggy morning here, but it's beautiful. Okay, my friends, we have transitioned up here to the production nursery. Of course, you remember, right? 2 production greenhouses, fantastic ones, but we have got some fantastic labor here today. We've got Andrew and Reed with us, and they are starting to put in the ground post for the old greenhouses. So remember the 2 Quonset huts that we had at the nursery, that was what we replaced the new greenhouse with, and we told you that, you know, we were going to move them up here to the production. So that is what we are doing. So yeah, let me just flip the camera around and I'll just show you, because it's easier for me to show you and talk to you at the same time. All right, just to give you like the big picture here, the big perspective, we have those 2 production greenhouses, and then right here, this is where we are going to go ahead and put the new, the new old greenhouse. At this point, we are going to use it as dry storage. Jerry went ahead, and we have a fantastic local company that does, it's a fence company, Gaston Fence, and so they went ahead and cut these new ground posts for us, because if you remember when we took out the old greenhouse, it was just really hard to get those posts out. So Gaston Fence went ahead and cut us these ground posts, and Jerry had them to be taller. That way it raises up the greenhouse and gives us more clearance in there. So what the guys are doing yesterday, Jerry and Reed went through and got the 4 corner, so here's one, the 4 corner post in. Of course, those are some of the most important ones, because it makes sure that your greenhouse is square. And then they have the line levels that you see running down through there. So Andrew and Reed are working on getting those posts in the ground. Andrew, is that every 4 feet?
Yes, ma'am.
Yep. So they're being put in the ground every 4 feet, and then they are using the power planter that you see Jackson has with that small auger, which makes it great, so they don't make such a huge, massive mess, since we've got good gravel up here. So they dig the hole, get the post in, make sure it's nice and good, everything's level, and then they are putting some of the quick set concrete in there, which works out great because today is a little wet and damp, so it'll set up really, really quickly. The next step will be to go ahead and put in the arches, the hoops, which are over here. I think some of them got pulled apart, but basically these are the big hoops. You have seen us do this. It's the same process that when we did the production greenhouses, and then there you go. That's the main structure of the greenhouse. Now, what's going to be different about this structure as opposed to the other 2 is right now we're not going to have any end walls on it. So it'll have the hoop, and it will have just a single layer of, I'm not sure if Jerry's going to use white poly, clear poly. I don't know what the covering is going to be, but it's just going to be a single layer because this is truly just going to be for dry storage. I don't know about y'all, even in our house, you can never have too much storage room. Same thing when you're owning when you own your own business and nursery, because we get so many supplies ahead of time, and then you've got to have somewhere to keep them dry. So that is the situation. So we're going to use this as dry storage for now. So single layer of poly, no end walls. You can drive straight through. We can put pallets of soil in here. We can put our pots, trays, fertilizers, really whatever we want to can go in here, and it keeps it dry. At some point, if we want to come back, put the end walls on, do a double layer of poly, and add the heaters, we certainly can do that. So that is the beautiful thing about this. It is very adaptable. Also, another reason that it is adaptable and fantastic is that because of these hoops, we were able to make this storage unit the exact same size as the 2 production greenhouses, because when the 2 Quonset hut greenhouses were 48 feet each. So if we use all the pieces, then this storage would be 96 feet long, right? 96 feet long. I want to say they were 24 wide. Whereas the production greenhouses are 72 feet long. Anyway, this cold storage, this dry storage would be a lot longer, and we don't want it sticking out by like 20 something feet. So we just decided, you know what, we're gonna make it fit the exact same length as the other 2. So there you go. That's what we're doing with those 2 Quonset hut greenhouses. We're kind of repurposing them, but it's gonna be fantastic to have lots of good dry storage. Also keeping it real around here, because you know that's what we do, right? We show you the good, the bad, and the ugly. You see our sweet little Kubota right there? Yeah, we use that thing like crazy. It's got, I don't know how many thousands of miles on it just from being here at the nursery and running around. It is a diesel machine, runs on diesel, and yesterday it had like 1 bar left on the gas gauge, and it was just really low. And so Jerry sent somebody, I don't know who it was, to go grab the diesel can, and they did, and it was the diesel can, and they filled it up, just not even, maybe it was Jackson, I don't remember who it was, and then they took off, and all of a sudden the Kubota was like and just started sputtering. So at least they had enough sense to stop it. Yeah, somebody had filled up the diesel tank with gasoline, so there sits the little Kubota. I will say this is not the first time it's happened with our machinery where the wrong type of fuel got put into it. It's happened with the mower before too. So Jerry knows what to do and has started to, you know, take it all apart and drain it and flush it and so forth and so on. But yeah, we're down a machine today, and there the sweet little Kubota sits. Hopefully it'll be back up and running pretty soon, but such is life here. There's always something unexpected that happens. All right, friends, we are back here at the nursery, and it is a hustling, bustling place. We have got customers all over the place, which is fantastic to see. Unique Stone is flying out of here. Land and Sea is flying out. Everything's flying out of here right now. And in fact, we went through 1 pallet of Land and Sea, and we had some customers panicking, and we're like, don't worry, we have a tractor trailer load of this stuff. We've got plenty. So it is great to see all of our sweet customers here on this last Saturday before we close for Christmas and the end of the season. I've always said that this is the best part of the job, is the people that you meet and the relationships that you make, and it's fantastic. So it's great to see all of these sweet people here. And then we've got Jerry over there talking with our best buddy Josh, who is going to help Jerry with the electrical. So that's a meeting of the minds over there. But yeah, it's fantastic. Little clouds, little dampness isn't going to slow this Christmas spirit down. Yes, it's always an adventure here at Creekside. Christine thought she was leaving work early, but she's not. And then, there we go, Rosebud. So here we go, Christine. We had some rain and we're on a hill. She's here. So we're gonna see if old Jer can muscle himself out of here. And looky there, my friends. No rope, no pullage is needed.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Okay, so we're gonna go from one adventure to the next. We're gonna come in here and check on Jerry and Josh and see how they are doing with the electrical. All right, boys. Okay, here we go. We're gonna do the old spinneroo because Jerry's not mic'd up. Okay, so tell me what you're doing.
We're just trying to map it out right now. You know, the electrical stuff for the fans, the control, the heaters, the shutters, the
Lights.
exhaust fan, lights, like we were talking about earlier when you were in here. Trying to find out where the switches are going to go.
Yes. So have you got it all mapped out then?
Kind of, yes.
Kind of. So then what's the next
Well, we're
step?
mainly going to, we're going to run a lot of conduit underneath the gutter. The reason that we're going to want to do that is because we want to try to keep as much light coming through. We don't want other objects. You think, well, just a little small 3/4 conduit is not blocking that much light, but by the time you do that, or if you do an irrigation line, or you do some different, the next thing you know, so we're going to try to put it in between the gutter and the rafter there. And so we're going to put a lot of the conduit that's going to run the wire, and then we're going to come out from there.
I see.
Yeah. And
So
then,
it'll run underneath. Hang on, let me get my finger right. It'll run right underneath there.
yeah,
Yep.
on both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah. So did you go back here?
To the building? So I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. We're going to find out. Yes, I showed him the building.
So what we've decided, Josh and I, this is main power, you know, coming in right here.
Yep.
And then we're going to put the wires going out with the control box, which I thought was going to be inside. They're recommending that it should be in the dry and away from sun.
Oh.
So
you say control box, meaning the control box
Yeah,
for the.
it's like the smarts of everything.
Okay.
Because it knows the temperature, so that way it knows when to raise the curtains for the sides, knows when to turn the heat on,
Right.
all that good stuff.
So will it have like thermostat probes inside the greenhouse? Gotcha.
So we're going to extend them so they can go into different areas of the greenhouse.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay, so this whole wall that we're looking at is all like the electrical panels and
Yeah.
that kind of thing, and then this side of the wall
This-
will be all the fertigation.
Yeah, right there is white pipes, water, and the gray is water going in the greenhouse, which you can then turn to fertilizer water or just plain water.
So the white is water coming in, clean water coming in. Gray is water to the greenhouse.
Yes.
Could be clean or it could be fertigation.
Yes.
Fantastic. So that'll take up pretty much this whole wall right here, right?
Yeah. So we'll still have plenty of places to put storage, you know, different items or whatever we want to do.
So then what are we going to do? Got any thoughts on this wall right here?
Not right now, though.
Not right now. Fantastic. All right, so tell me, I know this has been a big topic. Tell me about the lights. What kind of lights are we going to have?
I have not decided on exactly the lights that are going in there.
Yeah.
But I may be looking at like a dome, round dome light that's like you see in warehouses that they put out lots of lights. So there'll only be 8 of them.
8 of them. And then do you know where we're going to hang them from?
Probably up high. But that depends on if we go with that light.
So it's either going to go straight down or they could go across like where the fans are. Or are you thinking straight down?
All the way up.
Oh, to the tippy top.
Yeah, so that way it disperses light. The higher that light goes, the more light it'll send out.
Gotcha.
If it's further down, it's not going to send as much light out.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. So are y'all about done for the day? Or are you
I
gonna?
think we just want to put some boxes on, like little switch boxes, and
Oh, good.
just start to kind of mount some things. But we can't really do anything because this room's not finished.
Right. All right, well, that's the update here, and if they do some boxes, then I'll be sure and show you that, but that's a little bit of what is happening here.
If not, I mean, otherwise it's like Florida in here today.
It is. So yesterday I about froze my rear off, and so this morning I dressed thinking it was gonna be like yesterday. I've had to start stripping layers off, and
I think that's why they're calling for maybe those bad storms.
Oh, because the cold air's coming in behind it?
Yeah.
It's a whole massive line.
Yeah. Well, usually we're fortunate,
Yeah.
you know, that the mountains, the ridges, and everything that you see sometimes in our drone shots break them up. But I hope that's the case.
Yeah, so they're calling for some big thunderstorms, so we'll see. But
Yep.
all right, so we'll see what kind of adventure we can get into next. I do know that I've started to go ahead and get the girls prepping for being closed for the rest of the season. So we're moving any kind of shrubs that were out on the shrub, like in the shopping area, we're moving those down to the shrub lot. Do you have any places that you want like those little pots, the annual pansy pot, you know, the mixed pots that Heather made? Got any ideas on where they can go?
No.
Okay,
Not right now.
I'll find a spot for them.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're doing right now, is starting to go ahead, because we're only going to be open for maybe an hour or two more. So we're really just kind of starting to button some stuff up for the winter.
Yeah. I need to go check on the guys, one of those pipes, and see where
Ooh,
they're at.
let's go do that.
Yeah.
Let's go check on the boys.
Okay.
Yes.
Drive.
Drive, man.
Okay, so here we are at the production lot checking on the fellas, and they have made really great progress. So they've already gotten one whole side completely done. Let me show you here. Yep, and they have not concreted them in. They just wanted to make sure that everybody was in nice and level. So let me show you a little, I'm gonna go around. There we go. Give you a little perspective here. Nice straight line. See how that, see, if you only can see one pole, then we're doing good. Now, if you can tell, let's just come down here, that they leveled them all up, except for the one that they put in yesterday. And you can tell, if you can see it, it just needs to go in the ground just a tad bit more. Look at that. So this is where they are, and then that one is sticking way up. So they can go ahead and get that pounded into the ground so that it is level with the rest of them. So that is a great benefit of not getting them concreted in the ground until everybody's in the ground. This is something that we have learned. Don't start concreting them in until everybody's in, everybody's level, then you can start concreting. They did concrete the first two because that was the plane that they needed to begin with. And then there you go. Now, I will tell you that we ran into a little bit of a problem, an issue with these posts. Because remember I told you that we had a local fence company cut these posts for us, which was great, and we didn't even think about this to tell them this. This is the part that we've never done before, so you always learn from your mistakes, right? So let me show you what I'm talking about. All right, so remember how I told you that we were gonna take the bows and we're gonna actually take them, and that metal is gonna slide down inside of here. Now look at this one. This one's great. See, it's a nice straight rounded edge. Okay, there's no lip in it. It's nice and circular. Well, evidently when they were cutting these posts, whatever it is that they used to cut them with, it created and it pushed this in just a little bit, and there is a lip right here. I'm trying to see if the camera will focus in on that. So when you take the bows, they won't fit in because the inside has a lip and it's too narrow right here. So Jerry has talked to my daddy, because my daddy has been around the block a time or two and has lots of experience with all things mechanical and tool wise. So there is some sort of, oh shoot, I forget what Jerry called it now, a special bit that will go in and then basically eat out the inside of this post. Now that was a really layman's explanation of what's going to happen, but basically we're going to go in there and saw off that extra metal that's inside the pipe. Therefore it's nice and flush that the bows can fit down in there. Again, Jerry will tell me the actual technical term of that tool, and I'll put it up on the screen because I don't remember what it was called. So that's what's going on right now. I hope maybe they will get the rest of the post in the ground for today. So we will see, but they have made great progress. And like Jerry said, for whatever reason it is, we cannot install a greenhouse post without it raining. So Christine said that we should, next time we need rain in the middle of the summer, we should just start putting up a greenhouse and it'll start raining. So that's what's going on right here. The sun's trying to come out. It's gonna be a beautiful day. All right, my sweet friends, the day has come to an end. It is 3:30. The nursery is closed. The gate is closed, so we are officially closed for the 2021 growing season. Now, we've said this before, but I'm going to say it again. Just because the nursery retail portion of Creekside is closed does not mean that we are going to stop with projects or stop with videos. Content is still going to be there, and we're going to be with you all the way through the winter, so do not worry about that. We are here. We're not going anywhere. The retail portion is just closing for, I don't know, maybe 2 months. We will plan on reopening in mid-February, but that will largely depend on the weather. So sometimes February can be some of our yuckiest weather. So if it's cold and like freezing and snowing and that kind of thing, obviously we're not going to open on that. We'll just push it back. Of course, we will let you know here on social media when we will be opening, but just to kind of give you an idea, ballpark figure, that's about when we will reopen for the 2022 growing season. We've already got lots of fun things planned for next year, so I can't wait to share them with you as they become available for us to share. But it has just been a fantastic season here at Creekside Nursery and the growing season. We got to see some great friends today. It was wonderful. Fantastic sales. Y'all came out big time for all of the specials that we were running this weekend. So much appreciation. Thank you so much for that. Y'all helped us end the year on a very positive note, and so for that we are grateful. As you can probably hear, the boys are behind me working on the electrical again, so let's just pop in there and see what they're doing. So the fellas are working on, I think you can see Jerry up there, they are working on putting in some junction boxes here in the greenhouse at just certain points. We ended up needing Jerry a little bit more today than maybe he anticipated, so didn't get to get quite as much work done, but that's all right. It was still a very productive day. So you can see that that is what he's doing up there. Just different mechanics. Whew, there is quite the echo in this greenhouse. So any final words you want to say, honey? Nope. We're good. We're good. He says goodbye. See y'all next video. All right, so what I thought we could do is take a little walk outside and one last quiet tour through the greenhouse and the nursery. So what I am going to do is just kind of sign off right now, but I do want to walk you through just the whole nursery as a whole, this area, to kind of show you everything, what it looks like middle of December, last weekend of the season. No frets, we'll see you in a couple days with a new video, but y'all have a great day and we will talk to you soon. Bye friends.